Welcome to Exam Sale. In this short guide we'll walk through the syllabus for the NetApp Certified Data Administrator, ONTAP exam so you know exactly what to study and where to focus. The exam is split into 9 domains with specific weights and focus areas to guide your study. Storage concepts 12%, ONTAP storage 12%, data protection 12%, storage protocols 12%, ONTAP maintenance 12%, ONTAP concepts 10%, ONTAP networking 10%, ONTAP performance 10%, and ONTAP security 10%. Estimated learning time across all domains is about 91 hours and assessments range from hands-on to scenario-based and conceptual questions. Storage concepts is weighted at 12% and focuses on hardware components and RAID configurations with an easy difficulty and about 8 hours of study. You will learn to identify supported storage controller configurations, disk shelf types and connectivity, and distinguish between internal and external storage. Expect to understand SAS and NVMe cabling requirements, drive types and use cases, and RAID concepts like RAID DP, RAID Tech, RAID group sizing, ADP, aggregate types, spare disk management, and the difference between physical and logical storage structures. ONTAP storage is 12% of the exam and covers logical storage provisioning and efficiency features with medium difficulty and about 12 hours of study. You will learn FlexVol and FlexGroup volume characteristics and when to use them, how to move and resize volumes, and basics of thin provisioning and over-provisioning. The domain also covers storage efficiency features including inline and post-process deduplication, compression and compaction techniques, fabric pool tiering policies, snapshot copy efficiency, and how to analyze storage savings using ONTAP tools. Data protection carries 12% and is one of the harder domains with about 15 hours of study and scenario-based assessment. You will master snapshot technology by learning snapshot architecture, scheduling, retention, restoration methods, snap restore, and space-efficient copies with FlexClone, plus managing snapshot reserve and overflow. The replication and recovery side teaches snap mirror modes, snap vault for long-term retention, metro cluster architecture, failover and resync procedures, snap mirror cloud and S3 replication, and managing relationships between ONTAP clusters. Storage protocols make up 12% and focus on configuring NAS and SAN access protocols with medium difficulty and roughly 12 hours of hands-on and conceptual work. For NAS you'll configure NFS exports and SMB shares, understand Active Directory and LDAP integration, name mapping, multi-protocol access, and NFS version differences. For SAN you will configure ISCSI target portals and IQNs, manage fiber channel zoning and WWPNs, provision and map LUNs, identify NVMe TCP and NVMe FC steps, manage IGRUPs, and understand ALUA and multipathing. ONTAP maintenance is 12% and covers cluster upgrades, hardware replacement, and system health with medium difficulty and about 10 hours of study using scenario-based questions. You will learn non-disruptive upgrades, firmware updates for disks and shelves, auto support configuration, cluster expansion and contraction steps, and how to verify system health using the CLI and System Manager. Hardware maintenance topics include failed component replacement, node takeovers and givebacks, FRU replacements, cabling verification, management port care, and hardware-assisted takeover mechanisms. ONTAP concepts account for 10% and are easy with about 6 hours of study, focusing on cluster architecture and logical management objects. You will identify cluster components such as nodes and HA pairs, understand management and cluster networks, and learn storage virtual machine concepts including admin, system, and data SVM distinctions. The domain explains the benefits of scale-out architecture and the ONTAP software stack so you can reason about design and management choices. ONTAP networking is 10% and is a harder domain with about 10 hours of mixed hands-on and conceptual learning focused on physical and logical networking. You will configure broadcast domains and iSpaces, manage interface groups and VLANs, and understand logical interfaces or LIFs and their roles. Also covered are failover groups and policies, routing and subnet requirements, and cluster DNS and NTP settings to keep networking resilient and predictable. ONTAP performance is 10% and tests monitoring, troubleshooting, and quality of service with hard difficulty and about 10 hours of scenario practice. You will identify performance bottlenecks using CLI statistics, understand latency, throughput, and IOPS metrics, and configure storage cost to protect workloads. The domain also covers analyzing performance with ActiveIQ Unified Manager, identifying workload contention, and understanding how storage efficiency features affect performance. ONTAP security is 10% with medium difficulty and about 8 hours of conceptual and scenario-based study, focusing on access control, encryption, and data protection security. You will configure role-based access control, manage NetApp volume encryption and aggregate encryption, and understand external key management requirements. The domain also covers SVM isolation for multi-tenancy, audit logging and security tracing, and ransomware protection features including F-policy. That covers the full syllabus for the NetApp Certified Data Administrator, ONTAP exam and where to focus your study time. Follow this roadmap, balance hands-on practice with conceptual review, and use the domain weights to prioritize weak areas before exam day.